Well, we've been talking and telling you a little bit about this story, how those fun signs might come to an end. Our Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, apparently is not a big fan of these, despite the fact that I am. But the Federal Transportation Administration is saying that although these signs may be creative, that they also may be a bit of a distraction as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bit of, I mean, look at that electronic sign behind us. You know,
I co-signed this one.
Who can dispute that one, though?
Let's watch.
Just kidding.
So here's the thing. The agency says signs with humorous, pop culture, or obscure references banned. Now, that doesn't start until 2026, but they say, for what you said, Lena, they're distraction, they say, and they confuse drivers.
Yeah, so what exactly does that mean for Ohio roads? We asked Mike-Polk-Jr. to learn more.
By now, you have, of course, encountered those road signs that feature fun, quirky messages intended to promote driver safety. Your daily commute is about to become either a little less whimsical or a little less confusing, depending on your ability to process dad jokes quickly. The U.S. Federal Highway Administration, aka the U.S. Federal Humorless Administration, boom, is outlawing the use of jokes and pop culture references in overhead electronic signs. The new mirth restrictions were laid out in an 1,100-page manual that just dropped, updating national policies regarding America's signs and traffic control devices. And let me tell you, it's a real page-turner. The agency says that humorous messages can be misunderstood or distracting to drivers, and that signs should be, quote, simple, direct, brief, legible, and clear. Is this actually a problem that needs to be addressed? If someone sees a movie reference that they aren't familiar with on a road sign, does their pop cultural ignorance truly endanger them? These zany signs are really only being utilized to emphasize the same very basic safety advice we're already familiar with. Don't drive fast, stoned, or drunk, get off your phone, and wear your seatbelt. It's really about it. So are these roadside puns actually endangering the lives of humorless people? And if funny signs are indeed a legitimate safety concern, why don't these new regulations kick in until 2026? Where's the sense of urgency? For some clarification, I spoke with Ohio Department of Transportation bigwig Matt Brunning. Was the problem that some of the messaging was prejudiced against people who don't understand jokes or who don't get pop culture references?
I think the biggest issue was just making sure that the information being displayed on the boards was widely understood by people and not very narrowly focused to a segment of a population maybe who was familiar with a TV show or a movie or a singer.
But to be clear, you weren't getting a lot of specific calls about people who were having a hard time processing these things or who felt endangered by these signs, right?
There were a couple of times we would get feedback from people that would say, hey, I saw the message board this weekend. I had no idea what you were trying to say there. But as you well know, if you have to explain the joke, probably not that funny.
Mr. Brunning said that the feedback he's received from Ohioans about ODOT's zany signage has been overwhelmingly positive. And let's face it, Ohio's goofy uncles and cornball aunts are really gonna miss those things. Here's my proposed solution. How about a two-tiered sign system? The top sign is all business. The bottom one expresses the same info, but maintains the cheesy humor that some motorists have come to enjoy. But I know that's just a pipe dream. What's done is done. Whether I like it or not, the salad days of wacky roadside messages are coming to a close. All we can do now is just try to enjoy the 2 brief years we have left and cherish them while we can. Also, probably just wear your seatbelt. You really shouldn't need to see a quote from Anchorman to remind you of that. Stay safe out there, folks.